Hello, Repliters, and welcome to February's Town Hall, where we give you all the cool stuff going on in Replit and give you a little sneak peek as well at what might be happening very, very soon. Well, you catch us at quite a fun time in Replit. There's a lot of cool stuff that's rolled out recently, a lot of cool stuff coming up soon. But before we get started, let's do a little bit of audience participation because that's what we like here. Bit of fun. So, whilst I'm doing the introduction and talking to you a little bit about what's going to be happening today, why don't you answer this for us? What's the best thing that you've built using AI so far? Because AI as a tool has been out for not very long in its current form. And there's some cool stuff going out, not least of which is Ghostwriter Chat, which we'll talk to you a little bit about today. But whatever you built, let us know in the comments. Have you managed to build something more exciting than you would have anyway? And whilst the questions are coming in, let's take a look at the agenda for today. We're going to start with the Weights and Biases hackathon, and Nell's going to update us about what went on with that. And it was quite exciting. Wait till you see the winner. I was a little bit blown away by it. We're going to move things around a little bit, but we are going to hear from Anshul about the India launch and what that means for people who are accessing Replit from other countries, and specifically India in this instance, but it's a pretty cool thing. We're going to have a look at Ghostwriter Chat, and Ghostwriter Chat has become my best buddy, my BFF forever, after starting to solve my debugging problems for me. In fact, I've got to the point now where I won't even read the line numbers of my error messages. I'll just click the button in Ghostwriter Chat. So I'm totally bought in on that. We're also going to have a bit of an update on extensions from Arnav and an update on where we are with bounties from Mike. And then finally, hopefully, Lincoln will pop in and maybe give us a little bit of a spoiler on what's happening with deployments and to see how you can get involved in that. So how did we do? Let's have a look at what people built. Anything exciting for? Let's have a look. Well, we've got some people moaning about Copilot. Again, in my experience, I think Ghostwriter is a superior product, but then I would say that because I'm hosting the Replit live stream, but I think it's pretty cool anyway. Ornella did a brilliant background remover app. In fact, Ornella, I do still use your code occasionally because it is pretty cool. Buddy, is there anything you use AI for is Ghostwriter and Copilot? Yeah. I mean, a lot of people were doing a lot of coding with ChatGPT, but yeah, when it's working is the only problem with that, isn't it? When it's up and when it's running. Haroon says he made a script that allows you to use Ghostwriter outside of their IDE. Oh, that's quite exciting. I mean, I'm not sure it's supported, but it's quite exciting. Haroon, you have to send me the link to that. I'd love to see that working. Let's have a look. Craig saying that ChatGPT and Copilot have been my AI pals. I do honestly think that it's a bit like having your own like little expert friend that's there and ready to work with us. I think that's pretty cool. And yeah, Ghostwriter Chat is totally my friend now. What else we got? I think that's it, isn't it? Yeah, cool. Right, so, well, with that done, let's get started with our agenda. And I'm going to bring up Ornella because I have to say sorry to you, Ornella, because last time I kept you hanging around until right at the end. And actually, you only wanted to talk for a minute or two. So I must apologize to you for that. But to make up for that, I'm going to give you the floor first thing. And I'll hand over to you.
Thank you for the prime spot today, David. Hey, everyone. I'm so excited to be here with all of you at our February Town Hall. I just wanted to share a little bit about our first machine learning hackathon that we just finished up, which we hosted with our amazing partners over at Weights and Biases. And it was just really incredible to see so many folks getting started on their first machine learning projects, or, seasoned veterans who have made so many projects already coming in and learning a new technology using Weights and Biases. And yeah, we gave away over 500,000 cycles worth of prizes, which is pretty incredible. And I just wanted to show off the grand prize winner because in case you missed the closing ceremony, this project was amazing. And they actually won 300,000 cycles for it. So I'm super stoked about it. And let me just share my screen really quick and bring up the REPL. So the criteria for the hackathon is that you had to use both Replit and Weights and Biases in your project. And so it was really awesome to see this coder's report on weights and biases as well as the REPL. So I'll just pull up the report first because I think this is awesome. So a lot of you folks may know Lockie. He's one of our prolific community members, and he kind of went day by day in how he completed his project. And this is wild. He used 40,000 images to train his model from scratch. So this is someone who had no experience with ML before, and he trained this incredible model. So yeah, there's a day by day update of what he was learning, how he did it, the training data, all of his experiments. And so if you want to check this out, I'd really recommend reading the report. And then just to show kind of what came out of all of this, um, he built this amazing image filter remover app. And so what this does is you upload an image and it will output the image without any filters and also tell you which filters were on it. So I'm just gonna upload. I edited a little picture of my pancakes that I had the other day, and it's gonna tell me what filters are on it. So it's doing the stuff. And it takes a little bit because this is actually just running on CPU, so anyone can do this, using the REPL. And we've shared the links to the report and the REPL in the chat, so if you wanna check this out on your own, please do. And yeah, so see you have the output, and it tells you that these were the filters that were detected on the image, which, I haven't tested completely for accuracy because I don't know what filter my little photo app is using exactly, but yeah, I think this is really fun. And this project just really blew me away. So we're really excited about that. Um, I also wanted to talk a little bit about at the end of my segment, just other opportunities to earn cycles on Replit. And obviously, we have our events where we give away a ton of cycles as prizes, but we also have the Replit Reps program. And I think there are even a few of you in the chat here today. Replit Reps is opening applications back up on a rolling basis, and you can apply anytime to join the current cohort. And basically, as part of the program, you earn cycles for doing things that a lot of you already do on Replit. So every time you publish a really awesome REPL to the community, you can earn cycles for that. Every time you host an event, you can earn cycles for that. So I know there are a lot of people who already participate in really awesome ways in our community, and we just wanted to create this opportunity to reward them. So we'll put the link to the application in the chat. Thanks, everyone. Good to see you all.
Thanks, Ornella. And honestly, the Reps program is amazing. I've done 2 workshops to them, and it was the most fun I've had for a while. The enthusiasm and excitement they've got is great. Thank you, Ornella, for coming up and speaking first today. And speaking of pancakes, I hope you all had a very nice selection of pancakes the other day. I'm not sure if Pancake Day is a universally celebrated holiday, but certainly in the UK, it is difficult to get eggs, flour, and milk at a certain point in the year. And certainly, I ate my fair share of pancakes on Tuesday. Right, so on with the show. Next up, we're going to get Arnav, a gentleman that I don't believe has had much sleep in the last couple of days, but he's going to talk to us about extensions, which, if you're an explorer, you may have seen popping up recently. Arnav, are you there? Oh, slowly.
Hey,
Hello, fantastic.
indeed.
I'll hand over to you to tell us all about extensions.
Sure, David. Extensions are, you can think of them as Replit workspace mods that add features to the Replit editor. And yeah, they're essentially web apps that run in a map frame and interact with the Replit workspace to provide features. And yeah, we want to, of course, everyone who's used any editor knows that extensions are this vital feature. Everyone who loves to code loves to, affect their environment change how it works. That's like a fundamental part of a code editor. And at Replit, we've not had that for a while, but we're working on fixing that. And we want to make it really easy to write an extension. Of course, there's like tons left for us to build, but we thought it would be nice if we like get some of this out and build it in the open with everyone's feedback. So I guess everyone who's an explorer has access to the to try out the extension system and try out some of the ones that we got to build. And as you would expect, everyone who's an explorer is immediately asking, "Hey, how do I go build one?" And yeah, we will be onboarding folks to building extensions very soon. And I think I can probably show everybody how the extension system works, how building on it works, where you find the docs and everything. So when we finally get everybody access, they'll just know what to do. Cool. So let me share my screen. Alrighty. So here's an extension. Just a second. So here's a REPL. And if you're an explorer, you can just go, you will see the new extensions sidebar. And if you click on the extension store, it opens up the store. And here are the two extensions that we're starting out with. One of the things that we've lacked in Replit is the ability to open files in different editors, right? So I don't know if anyone's ever tried to modify an SVG file. It's been a major pain because you can only ever open it with as an image, but not as code. And so people have figured out that to actually edit an SVG, you need to go and rename it. So we thought we'd fix that and some of these other issues by starting out with the category of custom file editors. So we built out two of these. So first one is a JSON editor. Of course, you can edit JSON as text. Everyone knows that. But structured editing is nice, especially when the JSON files get really big. So I'm going to go to the JSON editor. I'm going to install it. And I can click on the extension from here to open it. And it will let me pick a file. But what we just added today is the ability to open it from the file tree. So I'm going to open this file, this exact file with the JSON editor. And as you can see, it's the same file, but open as an editor, as like a structured editor. So if I want, I can add or modify fields here. And these are links. So if I add, entries here, they just edit the file live. If I want to remove a field, there you go. I remove that field. If I want to open some other file like package.json, let's take a look at it. And there you go. Here's the package.json file. I can collapse entries under it. I can add more things to it. Yeah, so that's the JSON editor. The other one we thought is useful as programmers if you're working with binary files is a hex editor. And so let's say I want to open the same JSON file as a hex file. I'm going to click on let me just close this. And now this is letting me edit the raw contents of this file. You can edit it 1 byte at a time. So let's say I want to zero out the file, replace these letters with just the zero character, the null character, and there I did. If I want to type, of course, 61, 62, 63, 64. Of course, that's like hexadecimal for A, B, C, D, E. As you can see, it's editing the file at the same time. The edits run 2 ways, as you can see. So yeah, here are just like the two extensions we thought we'd start out with. But we're really looking forward to seeing what everybody builds. We'll be releasing more extensions. There'll be one releasing tomorrow. And so that was just how you'd go about using extensions. You know, now we can talk more about what does it look like to actually go and build an extension. So um, here, once you've got access to the extension system to creating them, you will have access to the docs. Of course, the docs are very bare bones now, so just hold on. We're coming. Help is coming. We'll have better docs soon, and I think the best way to start is just to get to use the starter template. Which opens to me as a REPL, but it will open to you as a Spotlight page. And here I've forked that template and I've created this extension. Now, and as I said, an extension is just a React app, right? It's any web app that's using the Replit API. As you can see in this example, we're just injecting the Replit API into the window, and we're calling some commands on it. Now this stuff is required. It's just some examples. So we connected to Replit, and we can read files. We can write to them. Now that to load an extension while you're developing on it, you just want to copy the extension's URL. Go to this manage extensions command that you'll have access to once we onboard you onto the extensions closed beta. Once you add the extension, it appears and it shows connected, which means that the extension is available and it can do things in the REPL. And my favorite way of actually interacting with the extension system is just to use the browser DevTools. So let's say I want to find out what all files I have in this REPL via the extension API. I can use the fs namespace and just perform a read directory on the root folder, which gives me a list of files and directories. And this is in fact exactly what we use to populate the list of files in the other extensions that we made, right? All the extensions that we've made are also open source, so you can just go and look at how they work. Is a fun exercise if you want to go build an extension. Once you've built an extension, let's say this is it. This is the extension we're building. You want to go to the Cluey page, which is you can access that via the Cluey command here. And you want to type in extensions, and you want to go create one. And I'm going to say this is the extension that I just wrote. Demo. And there you go. I created this demo, and now if I go back to my REPL, I can inject it the proper way via the store. You can see some of the extensions our community members have built. And there you go. It doesn't have a manifest file, which is why it looks like that, but it will, this extension is now loaded and it does things on this REPL, and you can in fact load it on any REPL. If I click on it, it opens up it should open up the REPL, but of course it's a live demo, so things go wrong. Anyway, yeah, so the docs will cover some of the APIs that we feel really good about. There's more APIs on the way, right? We'll have APIs for, working with CodeMirror or for dealing with cycles. One of the things we were thinking about is how extensions must always just be monetizable from the get-go. So yeah, we're looking forward to seeing what people build with it. Right. So if you want access, so I've taken too much of the time here. If you want access to building extensions, here's the place where you can fill out this form. Wait, how do I?
It might not let you post. If
David,
you
do you
want to
know how
send it to
to?
me on private chat, I'll pop it in the chat.
Okay, cool. Awesome. That works. Thanks, David. So yeah, I guess my ask for you is that if you're interested in building extensions, just go to this list and fill out what you have in mind, what you want to build, and we'll get you started. And yeah, I'm excited to see what people come up with.
Anna, thank you. We've got a few questions, if you don't mind.
Let's go for it.
Let me just pop through it. So first one is from, and again, I'll attempt to pronounce these usernames, so apologies if I get them wrong, but from Versta, we'll see, maybe. Will extensions have the ability to add items to autocomplete and the actual editor?
Yes, they will. Not immediately. We will turn our attention to the core editor soon, but they will have the ability to add to the autocomplete.
Fantastic. Ethan's also asked, I think you may have answered this, but will you be able to charge for extensions you make, and will there be tips?
Yes to both. You'll be able to charge for extensions that you make, and you'll be able to tip extension creators. And in addition, you'll also be able to offer services via extensions. So if something has a recurring cost, like let's say the thing that's in the air is large language models, which have a considerable cost to deploy and use. And so if you're building an extension that's making use of these things, you of course want to pass on those costs to the end user, and you can use the extension cycles API to do that, to set up a payment that's recurring or usage based. So we want to support these use cases with Replit.
That's great, thank you. Another two, what's the estimated time from submitting an application to getting a response at the moment?
We'll get back to everybody by Monday. Or sooner.
That's an amazing promise. I love that. Thank you very much. The last one.
I hope depends on how flooded we get, but that's I'll try to do that.
Everyone watching Async will flood us with applications now as well, and we'll desperately try to fulfill that promise. But the last one's a security question. Is there any risk of an extension being able to steal your token? How much access does the extension have to GraphQL?
The answer is none. It has no access to GraphQL. If it has access to GraphQL, that's a problem. We have, as part of the sort of closed beta, we've shipped some access to GraphQL as like a escape hatch, right? But we're going to remove it. So extensions will not have access to the user token. They will not have the same privilege level.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. And just to remind everyone, if you want to see extensions in your Replit editor, you can just turn on Explorer. Is that right at the moment?
Yep. Just go to the accounts, like your profile, and turn on Explorer, and you'll have access to the extension store.
Anna, thank you so much for speaking to us about extensions. It's very exciting, and it's lit the chat up. So thank you very much indeed. And I'll let you get back to your rest after your long amount of traveling recently. Thank you.
Thanks, David. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks to Arnav there for doing that. Extensions is really exciting. And we're starting at simple and we're building from there, which is, again, how all the best things are done. So if you've got ideas, please put them in there. I've got a million ideas, which I'll be submitting. We'll see how we go. But next up is Mike. Mike's going to talk to us about bounties, as long as his internet connection stays going, Mike. So don't panic if you get kicked off. I'll fill some time, but I'll hand over to you.
Cool. Thank you, David. Hey, I'm Mike Hadley. I'm a product engineer at Replit, and I've been leading the bounties team. So if you haven't tried bounties before, it is our job marketplace that's in platform. And actually, why don't I just present and show you it? Let's find the right tab. Let's see, hopefully you can see what I am showing. So this is the current set of bounties that are posted. There are all sorts of things, from big bounties to create really cool full stack web applications to small bounties for CSS bugs and the like. So fixing like a broken Replit extension, if I just switch the sort to check out the most recent ones, we'll see stuff like that. So it's a great way if you have an idea and you want to get it built, you can post a bounty to find someone to help you build it. Or if you want to build your portfolio or you want to earn some cycles, bounties are a great way to do that. You can hop into these and apply for them. And if you get selected, you'll be building a bounty, building out your portfolio in Replit. So one of the things that I wanted to share here is we are constantly working on improving bounties and the bounty systems. And one of the things we rolled out recently is a reputation system. So if you are a bounty poster and you get a bunch of applications, it can be hard to tell who is actually a good fit for your bounty. So one of the things that we did was build this reputation system where if you have some applications, you can come in, you can click through, you can see the bounty hunters' past bounties that they've completed, their in-progress ones, how much they've earned, their ratings, and the rating is part of the new system that we rolled out recently. So like here, I can see that Adam built something for Horatio, and Horatio really enjoyed it and left a review. I also had Adam build a tutorial for me, and it was wonderful, so left a review for him. And this flow looks something like this. So let's fast forward here to, this is the view of a bounty poster who is accepting some work from a bounty hunter. So as soon as you accept work, you're prompted to say like, hey, you just got your bounty completed. How did your hunter do? Leave a rating for these different things, these different features, communication, quality, timeliness. You can leave a little testimonial in addition. And then as soon as you submit it, it shows up on the bounty for everyone to see, and it shows up in that Bounty Hunter Insights tab for people who are looking at their bounty hunter, potential bounty hunters in their applications tab. So more features are coming soon, but the call to action right now would be if you are a poster and you've posted bounties before, you had a great experience with your hunter, head to that bounty. If you go to the discussion tab, you'll be able to leave a review on bounties that have already been completed. That helps bring up the quality bar and helps your bounty hunter out by helping build their portfolio. And if you are a bounty hunter and you just knocked it out of the park with a bounty that you completed before we rolled out this system, and you have good communication lines with the bounty poster, reach out to them, ask if they'd be willing to write a testimonial for you and leave a review. And if you are new to the bounty system, the docs that David wrote are actually really great. So there's a page for bounty hunters. So if you're looking to complete work within the bounties ecosystem, this is a great one. And if you are looking to get someone to complete a project for you, the posting section is a great one that walks you through how to post a bounty, how to select a hunter, how to review the work, how to accept that work. So that's all I got for you.
Thanks, Mike. You give me more credit than I deserve, though. I didn't make those docs. I made the tutorials that go with them. So the docs are somebody else's beautiful invention. I've got one question for you, Mike, before you go. And that's from Buddy. He says, do you think it's a problem for some people publicly showing how many cycles they've earned? Just putting it out. Has that been a concern?
No. So we built bounties to be kind of leaning into our community and making things public. And so if you wanted to, like, you would still be able to find how many cycles someone earned by just like looking through all of the bounties. So it's really not information that was not publicly available before. It was just, information that's now easier for someone to find, to be like, oh, wow, this person's earned a ton. Awesome.
I quite like it anyway. It's nice. It's nice when you're looking through bounty hunters to see how much they've actually earned from them anyway. I think that's quite cool. Mike, thank you very much. Despite your internet issues, you've been wonderful. Thank you as ever. I'll let you go. Bounties is looking really good. I've been using bounties quite a lot recently, and honestly, it's so nice to get things done. If you're a bounty poster, please do go and stick stuff on there. And if you are a bounty hunter, get involved. There's so much excitement on there. There's so many cool things. And I did see Buddy in the chat saying that, it's a lot of it's AI and it's stuff that's not in their skill set. the other day we were looking on Replit 101, and we were looking at the simpler bounties, the things that could be done after doing 100 days of code, and there were a load of them. So it's not just the big $3,000 bounties that you have to know exactly what you're doing across a big stack. There are smaller bounties with more focused problems that people are posting because they don't have the time or they don't have the expertise to do them. And most of you guys in the chat can do them. So get there, sort them by amount, and scroll down a little bit and see what you can find. Now, we've got a very special guest for you next. I've got Lincoln here, who I've sort of spoiled. Might be talking a little bit about deployments, but it's mainly, Lincoln, a call to action, isn't it? I'll hand over to you.
You've talked about deployments already?
I hinted that you might talk about deployments. I've not mentioned them at all, apart from tapping the side of my nose and saying they might be coming up.
No problem. So, have you ever made a website on Replit? That's a rhetorical question. I know the answer is yes. I know all of you have made websites on Replit. Hit me up in the comments with the website you've made. What is great about Replit is how simple we make this. So you can click create a new project, Next.js or Django or Ruby on Rails or anything. You can hit run, and you immediately have a URL that you can share with people for your project. This is really cool, and I think that this is a very, very low barrier to entry way to make a website. And tons of people use this. We get a lot of great feedback on this. But when people want to host websites for real, right? Real production websites for their company, for their agency, if they're making something for a client, if they're making something as a bounty, they will often go somewhere else to actually host the production website. So maybe you do your development on Replit, but you will go host it on AWS or Vercel or Google Cloud or one of the other, millions of hosting providers. Now we don't want to make you leave just because everything is working for you, except maybe the repl.co URL is not quite as reliable, or maybe you want to make a change to your website without sort of like breaking the deployment that's already out there. So we are announcing a new feature. It's still in beta. It's not ready. It's in development, but we are looking for people to join the beta. So if you want to join the beta, that's coming. And what it is we're going to take your REPL and we're going to package it up as a deployment that is going to be separate from your REPL. And it will be hosted on a service that is 100% reliable. It won't restart once per day like REPLs do. It won't go down. It won't have a REPL wake up time. And this is going to be a suitable place to host sort of like your production websites, like your real websites. So this is something we want to get a lot of people's feedback on. We know that people are trying to do this. We want to make it easy for you. So if you'd like to try it out and join our beta, you need to email. I'm going to share my screen here so you can see the email. Soren. If you know Soren, I just put his email here on a slide, and this is my slide. Soren at replit.com. SOREN at replit.com. And he is sort of the community guy for this project and doing some of the marketing and stuff like that. So you can email Soren. Maybe you already know him. Just reach out and ask to be put on the deployments. Deployments is the key word. Oh, thanks. That's even better. Closed beta, and we will get you on this very soon. Should be coming out in about a week or a week and a half. And then, it'll go live to the whole world maybe a month or so after that. So if you want to get in on it early, let me know. And we're still working out pricing. This will be a paid product because we're trying to make it 100% reliable, right? And we're making this for professionals. So, you'll still be able to host small stuff on Replit and your development server and all of that. But this is sort of a new and we hope much better way to host your websites. Okay, I haven't been looking at the chat. I'm going to glance at it. I don't think there's any questions. What if I want to keep my source code private but publish to the community? That's a good point. So deployments and community are actually two separate ideas. They're related, but the deployments that I'm talking about are for hosting websites, and community is for sharing your app. So when we share to the community, we encourage everybody to make their source code public, and that's actually required to publish to community. And I don't think that is planning to change anytime soon, although I'm not working directly on the community aspect of things. I believe that to publish to community, you have to make it public code in order to get feedback on your code and everything else. But with website deployments, you'll be able to keep your source code private just like you can now.
I've got one more for you, Lincoln, but I think this might not be something that you can answer just yet. It's about pricing. How much will test and final release cost?
Not sure. For the beta users, it will be free during the beta period. So you can give us feedback, try it out, tell us how much you'd be willing to pay for it, how much you wouldn't be willing to pay for it. And hopefully we want to make it something that, that is a really superior and good experience. But yeah, I don't have an answer for you yet, unfortunately.
Thank you, Lincoln, and thanks for dropping in for this. Don't forget, email Soren on that email address if you'd like to be involved in the beta for this, and you can expect to see some really cool deployment stuff. Lincoln, thank you very much. You said you only needed 2 minutes, but thank you very much for being the MVP today and entertaining me no end by putting Soren's email up in an enormous font. Which has been
I didn't know how else to do
today.
it. I'm new to this StreamYard thing, so yeah.
No, that was great. It was great. I honestly, it was the entertainment highlight of the day for me. So thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you so much for deployments. See you soon. Seriously though, Lincoln, brilliant presentation there, and deployments is exciting. If you have ever been in the same situation as me, and I've seen a few people mention it in the comments, where you're hosting a website with your REPL and you need to make some changes, but actually the way Replit works at the moment is you can only change the live code, and that's frowned upon in a professional capacity. Now, I did this a lot while I was doing professional web development back in the late 90s, but it was a different time back then. The most common way to do it now is to deploy. So you have a local server that you work on and you do development on, and you click a deploy button and it goes out, and that is the version that everyone else sees, and you can carry on messing with things and breaking things without damaging what your customers see. And that's really the cool stuff. I see people clamoring in the comments for Replit India. Don't worry. And I know some of you are thinking, do you know the time in India, David? Have you made poor Anshul stay on this call for this entire time? Well, thankfully, I was really nice to Anshul and told him that he could provide us with a pre-record. So I'm going to bring up Anshul's Replit India launch video, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about what that means and how that's worked.
Anshul here from Replit India, and I'm excited to announce our official launch of Replit in India. India is a super important user base for Replit, and that reflects in some of the numbers and the excitement that India has shown so far. It's our second largest market and our fastest growing market outside the US. There are over 2 million registered users here in India that create over 600,000 REPLs every month. It's our largest mobile base, both on the app as well as on the web browser. And a quick fun fact, Code with Harry from India is actually the most followed profile here at Replit, outpacing even Amjad. So it's really, really encouraging to see the excitement that India has for Replit. As part of the India launch, there are two main sort of features. The first is a dedicated India server cluster. What this means for people in India and South Asia is faster REPL load times, lower latency, and faster code completion. And rather than tell you about it, let me show you about it. So for now, you can go into your account and manually change your server location between the India and the US. But I think over the next week, we will automatically transfer everyone in India and the surrounding regions to the India server cluster so as to reduce latency. So let me show you how quickly a REPL boots up. So this is a REPL. You saw that almost instantaneously. And this is the beauty of having a server sort of located over here itself. The other main part of the India launch is our 100 days of code. So we saw a lot of excitement from people in India when we launched our signature 100 days of code that David put together. So we decided to do a similar collaboration with Code with Harry in Hindi. And now if you go to our Learn page, you can go to 100 days of code. And this is completely in Hindi. This allows you to learn Python programming within 100 days. Code with Harry is a fantastic teacher, and he's able to convey material in a very exciting yet in tidbits every single day. So if you're excited to learn Python, head on over here and feel free to sign up for the course. That's it from me. Over to you, Dave.
And wasn't expecting Anshul to be finished that quick. Yes, it is very, very early in the morning in India at the moment. So I did allow Anshul the benefit of just doing a pre-record there. But I do have to point out that the difference in speed for our Indian users is amazing. It's something like a 90% reduction in latency for every single interaction. That's not just loading the REPL, that's for everything they do. So that sort of geolocation put in the server in a local cluster is so much better for our huge Indian user base. So if you're watching on asynchronously, any of our Indian users, please go flip that switch, get your low latency, get it working. And I do just have to point out one thing, because we did get Code with Harry called out, and Code with Harry is doing 100 days of code in Hindi. And I just need to say, this man has some nice hair. If you enjoyed 100 Days of Code, but what you really wanted was a chap with much better dress sense and hair, seriously though, Code with Harry, I've watched his videos. I don't speak Hindi. He's got an amazing manner. He breaks things down really, really well. And it's a great series of tutorials as well. So that is fantastic. But with all our speakers done, it's just up to me to finish up today. And I've got two things to talk about with you. And the first is just to shout out our new Hacker Pro plan, and also to show you really the beautiful effect on our page, because as you move over the Hacker Pro card, you get this beautiful foil effect, and I just think that's beautiful. I love that. Hacker Pro just allows you to bundle up a bit more account storage, faster workspace, and SSH Ghostwriter and Ghostwriter Chat all together in a single package. So if you've been paying for Hacker and putting cycles together on an auto refill to pay for Ghostwriter, there's a nice place now, there's a nice subscription to pay for to get all that in one go. It is a nice thing to do. If you've got the money to do that, it's brilliant. Otherwise, you can still use our normal Hacker plan or a la carte if all you want is certain parts and you don't need all of that stuff. But I just want to show you that again, because that beautiful effect. I can, if anybody wants to go and steal that CSS for me and send me a REPL with it in, I'll be very happy, because everything I build will suddenly have that holographic effect on it. It's really, really nice. I'm seeing questions about when we'll be able to use cycles to buy the Hacker plan. My honest answer is I do not know when that's happening or if that's on the cards, but I will certainly pop that question in our company Discord and ask about it. And the other thing I want to talk to you about today was that the launch this month, or was it last week, I think, of Ghostwriter Chat. Now, Ghostwriter Chat has become my BFF, and I'm not being ridiculous. I'm not giving you hyperbole for this. We turned on the internal version of Ghostwriter Chat whilst I was in the middle of recording a new Learn series on building Discord bots, and not just simple Discord bots, quite advanced Discord bots that have, buttons and interactivity and all that sort of stuff. And I was learning as I was building this, and Ghostwriter Chat itself helped me structure and build things. But the pièce de résistance, the thing I love most about it, is the debugger. And we'll have a look at that tonight. We'll try and build some stuff. I can't give you the date on the new Learn series, unfortunately, because it's tied up with some other things. But as soon as I've got the date, I'll let you all know, and we'll publish that. It's quite a good one. There's a lot to it, and of course, Discord bots. A lot of our tutorials are a little bit long in the tooth now. This one covers the most recent version of Discord.py and does everything from setting up a simple bot to interact to having interactivity, questions, DMing, all that sort of stuff. Craig, I pick up on this. Craig said he's leaning towards trying Ghostwriter. Yeah, Copilot. I find Copilot disappointing. Well, I'll be honest. I find VS Code disappointing personally. The times I have to use it, I'm just like, just give me Replit. Replit's such a nice platform. It's everything's combined, and just having it there in Replit all the time just makes it something I always use. Ghostwriter chat has become something I use a lot. I'll just give you an example. Like, it could be something simple. Like, we could just ask Ghostwriter chat, like, I don't know, something I would ask my students all the time. How do I write a program to work out the area of a triangle? Something very, very simple, right? You can see there that Ghostwriter chat is working very much like other chat-based AIs, but it gives me a bit of a conversation. It gives me some code, which I can simply copy and paste and run, and we're going, and it's working, and we're good. But it's not a product that is designed for just this simple stuff. You know, this is these examples that we've given. I mean, even the examples we gave during the last town hall were simplistic. I used this the other day to build the graphical part of my Discord bot when I was struggling with it and when I was failing to understand something in the end quite simple. So let's get rid of that and let's ask it something a bit different. Let's get rid of that. And part of my Discord bot series was actually building and pulling questions from a trivia API. So how can I get the JSON from that address? And you can see there, it's doing something quite obvious for me. It's giving me that code, and it should be able to go off now and get that JSON for me. Great. Okay, cool. But how do I print it out? Oh, there, nice simple one. Just print it out. Okay, cool. Let's get that going there and run it. You'll see here that Ghostwriter is helping me pull an entire set of data from an API that I've just Googled. I've not read into the API at all. I've just gone, Ghostwriter, help me out. And that's saving me so much time because I'm not looking through docs. I'm not getting my head around it. Let's ask, can I extract just the first question from this? If Ghostwriter can do that. Well, even better, it's given me everything. So I can replace the entire thing. Now, again, in my tutorial series coming soon, I talk you through this step by step when we get it working. Now, this is beautiful because this illustrates exactly why I love Ghostwriter Debugger, because we've got an error message there. So something is wrong with that code. Okay. I know exactly what the error is, but let's see what Ghostwriter says. It says the error is on line 6. It's this. This is how we fix it. Okay. Well, let's try it. Okay. Not liking that very much, but oh, it's trying to get me the index. So the issue actually is the fact that the data isn't in results. The data is the other way around. So if we did data 0 here and we could see it run through, then Ghostwriter should be able to bring in the first part there. And that's not bad. One change in code that I didn't type myself is pretty cool. I think that's really, really good for the fact that I've done literally 0 work myself so far, apart from changing one index. And printing it out and extracting it works really well that way. But the beauty of the Ghostwriter debugger is that, well, for me, it tells me where the error is and then goes and gives me some suggestions. Let me show you an example from that first idea that we had. So let's imagine that we had built a solution to a problem that wasn't quite working. So here I've got a program that will give us the area of a triangle, or at least you hope it would. Let's do 10 by 5 and a crash. Now, again, instantly, Ghostwriter Debugger comes up with that message. And if I click it, it'll tell me exactly where that error is. Now, again, I've got lazy now to the point where I don't even read the error messages because I'm so confident that Ghostwriter Debugger will tell me where the error actually is and give me an idea about what that error might mean. The other day, it literally told me that the error was I didn't have a file in the right folder. That would have been 20 minutes debugging until I saw it and went, oh, what a muppet. I just hadn't uploaded something. It told me instantly what the problem was in plain English. Let's see if we can fix that. So that's line 12, should be converted from that to this. This is a way that you can convert data in line there. try it again. There we go. Fix the problem for me. And that's a very simplistic problem, but seriously, Ghostwriter Debugger is always on for me because the moment I get an error, I click that button and it pops up and it fixes it for me. If you've not played with it and you're already paying for Ghostwriter, it is part of that price at the moment. The beta is free with a normal Ghostwriter purchase. So get yourself Ghostwriter, go and play with it. It is well worth your time. It will save you a lot. And we often say that things like Ghostwriter and AI tools are 10x programmers. They take what you've got and they 10x it, because that repetitive code, that transforming code, that generating boilerplate code is all gone because the AI can do it for you. But when you've got something like Ghostwriter Chat that you can just ask questions to, it changes the dynamics massively. I was building something in Flask the other day and suddenly thought, oh, this would probably work better caching. And because Ghostwriter Chat was there, I asked it, how do I cache in Flask? And before you know it, I had quite a complicated caching setup and everything was working much, much faster. Ghostwriter Debugger is a wonderful thing. Harun, thank you very much for suggesting that I do go to sleep soon. Yes, you are right. In the UK, it is getting close to 11 p.m. now. So I do need my beauty sleep, as you can imagine. But with that done, that's everything covered for this month. Now, there's a lot sneaking up, but as a recap, the things that you want to get involved in are Replit reps. There's a rolling program of that now that we've got. So if you've wanted to be a rep, but you missed the window before, you can apply at any time and we'll go through the onboarding and we'll do the interviews as we go. It's a great opportunity to spread your wings a little bit and show off what you can do in the wider community. We've also got extensions, which are out to explorers right now if you just want to see and use the extensions, or that we had a link which is pinned to the chat at the moment if you want to get involved in building, which is quite a cool thing. We've also got bounties changes, which we now have a reputation system. So, if you're doing bounties, you've got more opportunity to show how brilliant you can be and get the credit for it rather than just submitting something and being done. And finally, Lincoln very kindly gave us Soren's email address so we can get in contact if you'd like to be part of the deployments beta. And remember, deployments is where you have a separate development server to the website that's being shown to your customers so that things you break on dev don't go to production, which is a brilliant way of working and much, much safer than what I do, which is just fiddle with the live server. Well, thank you very much, everyone. It's been great doing my first full town hall in charge. And we shall see you next month for some more exciting rollouts, some more spoilers, and some sneak peeks at things that we're bringing to Replit. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in and being part of the chat. It's always good because you're here, and we hope you have a great month. We'll see you soon.